Hello students, today we will learn voice. Voice in English. It is a part of grammar. All the boards of all the mediums have this grammatical item in their syllabus. ICSE board, CBSE board, West Bengal board, and all the boards of the world have this grammatical item in their grammar section. It is very easy to learn within a very short time. With less effort, a student can manage this with less effort, with less time. So it is wise to learn it. It is wise for the students of any board to learn voice. Before going into the depth of discussion, you must have a clear concept of the meaning of voice. That means, what is voice? What is voice? Answer is, voice is the form of the verb. The form which says whether the verb is controlled by the subject or the object. So, voice is the form of the verb. That form or the form which says whether the verb is controlled by the subject or the object. To understand it clearly, you must have the idea of the subject and the object of a sentence. Unless you have a clear-cut idea about what a subject is, what an object is in a sentence, there may be some confusion. So before going into the deep discussion of voice, let's see what a subject is and what an object is in English language. The concept of subject and object in English sentence. The place of subject and the place of object in a typical English sentence. So now here, take one sentence. He gave me this is a sentence and this is a verb. So what is the subject? When the verb is questioned, when the verb is questioned with who, the answer we get is the subject. So here the subject is he. When the verb is questioned with what or whom. The answers we get are objects. Whom? Answer, me. What? Question. Answer, a pen. Understand? Whom means whom did he give the pen? Whom did he give a pen? Whom means answer is me. And what did he give me? What did he give me? Answer, a pen. A pen. So here me and a pen are the objects. Again, write down the sentence. He gave me a pen. This is the verb. This is the verb. And the place. This is the place. This is the place for the subject. Place for the subject, and this is the place for the verb. This is these two places or objects. Now see the control, how a verb is controlled by the subject or object. See this. Take another sentence, a sentence with a single object. He wrote a letter. See how the verb of a sentence is controlled. Take the sentence. He wrote a letter. Letter is the object and here he is the subject. This is the verb. It is always controlled by the person, anything, by the item of this place. How? See, I will change, it is past tense. Now I will change the tense, that is present. He, it will become immediately, he writes a letter. He writes a letter. That is present. Present tense. So we changed the tense and immediately the verb became writes from wrote. Still you can understand how the verb is getting controlled by the item of this place. To get more clarification, change the subject, person of the subject. Here write I. Immediately the verb will be right. See. So this verb, all these verbs are controlled here by the item of this place, noun or pronoun. So if this verb is controlled by the doer or the subject, then the verb is called active. And if these verbs are controlled by these items or this item in this place, so it is called passive voice. It is called passive voice. So now we can say that there are two voices. Okay, what are they? Number one, active voice, and number two, passive voice. Voice is the form of the verb, you know. So active form, active verb, passive verb. When it is active voice, verb controlled by the subject. What is passive voice? Verb controlled by the object. Okay, so let's take an example. The same example we may take. He wrote a letter. He wrote a letter. Here it is the place for the subject and it is the place for the object, and it is the verb. Here the verb is controlled by the subject. He is actually the subject, because if the verb is asked question with who wrote a letter, the answer is he. So he is the subject. And what did the subject write? What did the subject write? Answer is a letter. That is the object. When the verb is questioned with what and whom, the answers we get are objects. So here letter is objects. So here the verb is getting controlled by the subject. So it is called active voice. Now we'll change the place. First right, we'll change. This is the place of the subject, you know. We'll change the place. It will go there and it will come here. So we'll write a letter. A letter came to the place of the subject, and here object place. He went there to the place of object, and for the accommodation, adjustment, he changed its form. So he became him, and the verb is was written. This is the place for the verb, written, and this is the place of the object. He became here him, and here one new thing is there, by. So here the verb is controlled by the object, not by the subject. It is the subject, though it is placed in the place of object, but actually the work is performed by the person of this place. So it is a passive voice. It is a passive voice. This is active voice and this is passive voice. Now we'll see how we can change an active voice into a passive voice. For the illustration, I will write the sentence again. For the space, he wrote a letter. Active voice. Subject place. This is the place for the verb and this is the place for the object. Now this is the place of the subject and this is the place of the verb and this is the place of the object. Now the object, it is object's place, it is subject's place and it is verb. Now these objects, this one will go to the place of this. Okay, then it will be a letter, and this one will go here in the form of him, and this will come here in the form of was written, and here one by will be here. So this is passive voice. This is the general format of how to change an active voice into a passive voice. So now we'll write the rules here. Rules to change an active voice into a passive voice. Okay, now give 2 stars here, otherwise it will be lost. When an active voice is changed into a passive voice, the subject of the active voice will go to the place of the object in the passive voice. Active, passive. Subject will go to the place of object. Subject will go to the place of object. Number 2. Example, he will go to the place of object, will become him. Will become him. Now number 2, the object The object of the active voice will go to the place of the subject in the passive voice. Object will go to the place of subject. Here a letter is the object. Letter is the object. It will go here to the place of a letter. It will go here, and this place it will go here, so the place will be vacant. Letter will come here. Okay. Number 3. The verb will be controlled by the item in the place of the subject. Anyway, take it in another way. In a passive voice, one by in most cases by is used before the subject in the object place. Okay, in this context, one thing you must learn in this context, otherwise later will forget. In the cases of some verbs, that preposition before the subject in the object place is not used. Other prepositions suitable for the position are used. You will get the examples at the right time.